when you are an adult. So I had you guys send me detransitioner TikToks, and I did. I downloaded them. I have not watched them yet. Let's watch them together. Boom.
Would you guys be...
Okay. So here we go. We're going to start some of the things.
Let's watch them together. Boom.
Would you guys be there for me if I was going through something?
No. Nope. Absolutely not.
I hope it sucks whatever you're going through.
I hope it sucks.
What the fuck?
I hope it emotionally scars you for the rest of your life.
Before we hear what she says, that is funny. It's like, if you're doing everything right, if you're saying the right things, if you're doing the right things and it's a success, and you know, you're uplifted, like you're perfect. Like, look at what happened these past few years, you know. If you're a particular race and you say a particular thing, then people put you on a pedestal because of the color of your skin, or they put you down because of the color of your skin, not because of who you are. They don't care about you. It could be you or the next person on their list. They don't care. It's not about that. If you are a good mouthpiece for them and the narrative, then you're like a saint in their eyes. They promote you like a saint. But it's just for them to have another voice. It's not you as an individual. It's just the fact that you can open your mouth and make sounds, and the sounds happen to correspond with the sounds that they want you to say. That's it.
It'd be like that, to be honest. I think that's one of the reasons why I do have such a soft spot in my heart for these detransitioners, because first of all, that's just a horrible thing to go through. How can you not have empathy as a human in general? But
yeah, I mean, empathy. All these people, they say, I care about the trans people. I care about the little kids. I care so much about them. But then from their actions and from their behavior, from what they're saying, it's like they don't. It's almost like, you know, in religion, it's like, I care about your soul. It's like, that's great. Thank you. I appreciate it. But what are you going to do about it? Like, how are you actually going to help? What advice are you going to give? I want you to get to heaven. That's such a great thought. Thank you. I appreciate it. But what does that mean in practice? Like, I keep saying it. If you've heard this before from me, sorry. But I heard so many times in the seminary, you're going to be a part of a family, and the priority of this community is for all the priests to be taken care of, especially when you're having a difficult time, because those are the moments when it really counts to have a family and a support system around you. But in practice, what actually happens?
it's like compounded by the amount of hate they get from the community. Like, imagine going through such an extreme, what I can only assume is like an existential crisis of like, oh my God, I transitioned. I removed my breasts, my voice,
I can't even imagine what it's like to go through that and then have all this pressure. Like, for some of these people, I was told that this was the right option, that this would make me happy.
Change my body, I'm maybe sterile, have to try to undo that, can't really undo that, right? And then on top of that, you're getting hate for it.
And now I've done it, and
I detransitioned so my family would like me. What?
Bojack, I don't like anything about me.
Oh. I don't know if this music is gonna make me get copyrighted.
Common threads that I have noticed from detransition stories, and keep in mind, I'm not just talking about stories that I read or listen to online from these people. These people reach out to me because I am one of
Yeah. I can relate. A lot of people reach out to me in private who are going through a difficult time in religion. Like, I have priests who are in the priesthood, and they're like, you're the only person talking about this stuff. Like, I can't even talk to other priests about it. I've tried, and they just don't understand what's happening. And don't worry, of course I'm not like, well, you should just leave. That's not what I'm about. I listen and I try to understand what they're saying, because nobody wants to just listen. They just want to say, like with me, oh, your problem is you're just a independent American. All Americans act the same. They just do what they want and they don't care about the consequences. And they just write me off like that. And I thought, like, are you listening to what I'm saying? Like, why would I be coming to you with my problems if... Anyway,
One of the only
enough about me.
on the internet that actually makes a point to highlight these people so they know that they can come to me. And a very common thread is people transitioning or detransitioning for the sake of other people.
Oh, for other people. This is all connected. You know why? I was thinking for the longest time, I'm like, Francis, just stick to your story. Just talk about your own experiences. Don't go into other things. It's not your problem. It's not. But I realized, spot on. They can hear you, but they aren't listening. Or they are listening, but cannot hear. Take your pick. Right. Auspician. But you know, when you live in a society, everything that happens within the society, maybe not every single individual instance of something, but these movements, these ideas, even if they don't affect me personally, now, because I live in a society, it's affecting us all in a particular way. Does that mean that I have to go out and protest and do all? Well, maybe sometimes, but I have to understand what's happening. I have to understand these different movements, because maybe now I'm not coming face to face with it, but maybe in the future I will. And if I've never thought about it, especially if it's something, all of these ideas are big ideas that are affecting a lot of people. I've in my life, I've come across maybe like 4 or 5 people. One of them had transitioned. The other ones were in the process or confused about it. And we started talking. And of course I was, my main task. I'm sorry if you can hear the dogs in the background. It's the neighbors' dogs. I've talked about them before. You know, my main task in those conversations was to listen. But what's my idea about them? How am I going to talk to other people about it? I can just be a passive person that just listens, but that person can just talk to a wall if they want the same type of reaction, but they're talking to a human being. So there has to be a connection there. And I think with my experience when I was younger, obviously I can't use an anecdote for a personal anecdote to describe a certain thing, but I have definitely come across the transition process and detransition and figuring out yourself. And, you know, I've come across that, and it's good to have an idea of what's happening. It's good to have an opinion about things. Well aware of the fact that I'm not a professional. I'm not, I didn't have the complete experience, I guess you could say, but like, it's good for us to have an idea, have an opinion about certain things, certain topics. Right?
And I think this is a very clear difference between people who transition and are happy with it in the end and people who are not. If you are transitioning or detransitioning for anyone else in your life, whether it's a boyfriend, your family, your friends, your social group, that's a big one. Because you want someone to be attracted to you. Believe it or not, as crazy as that sounds, I have heard that a lot in email.
It's almost like what I was saying before. This is kind of off topic of what she's saying, but kind of on the same thing. Like if you've never even breached that subject in your head, like let's say you're a parent, and I imagine a lot of parents within my previous religious community, they pushed these ideas to the side: transgender, homosexual, lesbian, all these ideas. They're like, these are not viable options for me or for anybody around me. Nobody accepts them. But then you come face to face with, let's say you have a child who's like, it's a girl, and it's like, Mom, I like girls. And if you've never thought about it, or you've never gone into that topic even a little bit, like besides what you hear from the sermons and from the books and all of that, but if you never really absorb the idea and really put yourself into a situation like that in your head, then how are you going to relate to someone who comes up to you and talks to you? How are you going to do that? It's your child. You can't be a lesbian. So period, end of story. We're never talking about this again. How many people have had that type of conversation? Oh, it must be something wrong medically, or it must be this, or it must be that, or, I heard from the priest that this or that. But it's not a human conversation. It's not two people connecting. It's, I'm going to you, opening myself up to you, and you're just a mouthpiece for whatever. And the same with the other way. Mom, I don't feel comfortable with who I am because maybe I like the same gender, or, I just don't like my body and stuff. Oh, you must have gender dysphoria, and we have to go to the psychologist because, you probably, if you want to change into a boy, that's fine. I'm not, I really want to support you, but it's like pushing. It's like I was told on that morning talk show that if I want to be a good parent, this is the way I need to talk to my child when they come to me with these type of things, and I want to be a good parent, so this is how and it's like you're not having a human connection. It's just, I'm telling you what I'm supposed to tell you. But Blair's talking about from the side of the person who is transitioning, or the person even who is gay or whatever, like them deciding things based on the people around them. That happens. Society is powerful. Where we live, who we associate with. How many times have we seen friends who get in with the wrong friend group, but they're like, I'll never do that. I'll never drink and drive. I'll never do drugs. I'll never do this. I'll never. And then, a few weeks later, they're doing the same thing that their friends are doing. Because when we live with people who have a certain set of behaviors, it's easier to pick up on those behaviors. That's why it's important to surround yourself with good people. And that's why I'm happy to be around you guys who come to the channel.